Hello and welcome to one of the last sessions this year, 2025, of Mind Explorations. We are today with Rene Brent from Florida in the USA. And Renee is here to talk about breath work. And Renee's done breath work for a long, long time. And I believe that she would like hypnotherapists, many more hypnotherapists, to include breath work in their practice. So we will talk about how to do that safely, which kind of techniques, and we will also have a demo. So that means if you're watching the replay, do me a favor and just get ready or get prepared for that, or you can always pause and go back. You know, all the things that you can do with a YouTube video, stop, pause, forward, etc.
And don't drive while you're doing it.
And
It's
don't
intense.
drive while you're doing it. Yeah, that's the other one. Is there going to be hypnosis included in it, in the breathwork
Well,
part?
so the breath does create a hypnotic state. So people do go in it, and people are usually surprised by how deep they go. And we'll talk about that when we start talking about it, because it's shocking to people how deep we
When
go.
we start talking about that, then let's
Yeah,
start talking about it. But
is
first of
there?
all, would you like to introduce yourself, Renee?
Certainly. So I'm Rene Brent. I come from a nursing background. I've held my RN license for 35 years, trauma, ER, ICU, and they used to call me the hippie nurse, because I would be the one in a trauma if the patient was awake and alert, and there's a lot going on. Anybody who knows about a trauma room, there's probably somewhere between 10 and 20 people in a room at a time for a trauma,
Right.
and it's overwhelming, and there's a lot of talking loud. And so I would go to the head of the bed and I would talk to them and I would make contact, not really even knowing what I know now about the subconscious mind. I did not know
Mm.
this. So I really understood through my own process after a divorce, kind of opening up, feeling very raw, looking for solutions for my discomfort physically and emotionally. I understood that it's not the body that heals the brain, it's the brain that heals the body. So
Yeah.
naturally, as I've moved in the last almost 14 years into this work, I really get a lot of clinical clients. I get a lot of analytical clients, a lot of men in my practice who are stuck physically and emotionally.
Mhm.
And I just love what I do. I've never looked back. I'm an instructor for a school. It's not my school, but I love the school. I love the protocols that he teaches. It's 500 hours, so it's almost an 8-month program. Every 100-hour training. So it's all the way from
Wow.
fundamentals to transpersonal, past life
Wow.
regression, and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's quite extensive training. Mhm.
Wow. And that's in person or is it online? Because
So
we're like,
they can do online
yeah.
training for this program, or I am in Orlando. So what they do is they do 70 hours online, and then they come in 30 hours on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and practice with each other
Wow.
here. And I have another big room in my space, and I love in-house training. I
Mm.
love just being so close to the students. I really love it. And yep.
So when you do breath work, what's like with clients? Because we're going to talk about you have a course coming up. We're going to talk about that at the end.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
when you do that with your clients, is it better to be in person as well? Is online fine as well? What would
It
be the
works both.
difference?
It works
Yeah.
both, Astrid. I do, but I've been doing online for a long time, and it used to be Skype, and Skype sucked. So I like to say Skype made me an excellent listener, because it would break out like every third or fourth word. So I had to really get good at micro expressions and figuring out where someone was, and asking questions and reflecting. It made me actually really good at my intakes and listening. So I have a lot of appreciation. It's much easier now. It's easier on Zoom. There are other things you can do, but I prefer Zoom right now. Anyway,
Mhm.
um, it's the same. The only challenge is when you're online is you have to do some extra prep work, because setup like we do on any Zoom call, but
Mhm.
breath work especially, because post breath work, people cannot get up quickly. They will be dizzy. You don't want anybody to
Mhm.
face plant. You want them to go to the bathroom. If anybody's done breath work, and I know a lot of your people have, the urge to pee is a real thing.
Oh.
And
Do we need a
everybody
pee
has to
break
pee.
before we go into the demo in a minute?
Yes,
Oh.
everybody. We're only going to do about 15 minutes of the actual breath, but everybody has to pee. So I'm like, everybody goes to the bathroom, and I see a lot of men. So I say to them, listen, I'm not your mama, but I really want you to go try to pee because you're going to regret it if you don't. Because when you're in the middle of a 50, 60-minute breath work, it's
Yeah.
intense. There can be a lot of energy moving. There can even be some cramping. You're in a deep trance. To get up and go pee is really inconvenient and actually a little dangerous.
Right.
So you have to, so I tell people on when they're online, listen, there's some things you do. You don't get up quick. If we lose, connection, I just preset that and it's fine. But it's very,
Yeah.
very effective. Yeah. It's really nice because if online, I said, now go take a nap. Now just sit and be in this space of this lightness, of this awareness and this clarity that you have. It's a really
Mhm.
nice space. When they're in my office, in my chair, now they have to get up and go drive. So that kind of
Yeah.
stinks. So yeah,
Ooh. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So there's advantages to both.
Yes.
Um, and what are the so what's so amazing about breath work? And I think you can fill the next half hour with that, can't you?
I can, and it'll be exchanged, and I want people to ask questions for sure. Um, this is hypnotic therapeutic breathwork. Why do I call it hypnotic therapeutic breathwork? Because the people do have it's a licensing thing, to be honest with you,
Mhm.
right? It's
Right.
all the same thing, but people are a little protective about their brand and whatever it is. So why did I choose to call it hypnotic therapeutic breathwork? Why? Because it's absolutely hypnotic.
Hmm.
I have clients who would never be able to go in as deep as in a session if I just did traditional induction.
Hmm.
So sometimes I'll even use this in the first 15 minutes and get someone into a deeper trance, and then we'll do processing work after that.
Right.
So it's very hypnotic. Therapeutic, why? I want people to understand how therapeutic this is. This is a standalone protocol.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I've had people with physical issues, with pain that's undiagnosed, and we all know this as practitioners. They go to 20 doctors. Now they have medical trauma because no one's listening. No one can figure it out. They've had every test in the world. They've spent
Yeah.
in the United States tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to get diagnosed with
Hmm.
no answer and only disappointment. I've had people come in and do 1 hour of breath work, and it's uncomfortable. It's really intense, but they release all that somatic energy that they can't get to any other way other than the vibration of breath work and releasing it. This is continual cyclical hyper-oxygenation breath. It's very simple in my approach. We just keep breathing. There's no stop and starts. That is great. That does move energy. I don't use this is not Wim Hof. This is
Mhm.
not, it's closer to transformational or rebirthing breath than anything.
Yeah.
But I stay out of it. I don't use music to facilitate in the beginning because why? The intention is very important. I teach my students how powerful the intention is neurologically to light up where we need to go.
Hmm.
And and then I let the breath be the medicine and do the work. So we really, it's pretty easy to facilitate until something comes up, of course, but so it's a cyclical breath. And that's what the therapeutic comes. I have had people who've had addiction. A lot of people, I work with a lot of addicts. I come from an addicted family background. I have two siblings who died from alcohol and drug abuse, a mother, a father who was an alcoholic, and a sister who's been sober for 40 years.
Right.
Somehow in the 5 of 6 kids, I didn't get that. I don't know. And
Right.
I have a lot of gratitude for it. But I lived in all aspects of it. So I really love helping addicts move through it. And I have found that breath work, it, especially in the beginning, it clears the pathway, it clears the space for new beliefs about themselves, and it's very powerful. So the therapeutic in all aspects is in, and then it's breath
Yeah.
work. So go ahead.
Yeah. So you're a registered nurse, so you would know how that all works neurologically, medically, inside the body, physically. So could you explain that for us a little bit? Like how
Certain,
the breath and
yeah.
oxygen, I suppose?
This is my favorite, right? So it's hyper-oxygenating and not hyperventilating. It's very important for people to understand that, especially as we're facilitating, because as
Mhm.
facilitators, we need to make sure knowing that the breath, the CO2 and the oxygen is exchanged when someone gets a fuller breath. The reason
Hmm.
people hyperventilate is when they're going Now, there's a lot of research about how hyperventilation actually can help in some aspects. It can. A lot
Hmm.
of breath work has that kind of rapid breath to it. I
Yeah.
prefer to hyperoxygenate. So there's only so much oxygen in the air. So actually, we're getting, and most people breathe shallow. So
Hmm.
there is a slight level of oxygen in the bloodstream and the heart and just bathing all the cells. But the power comes when you're in this cyclical breath. What happens is the CO2 diminishes.
Hmm.
And now, because of that, the body reads it as hyperoxygenating. Does that make
Right.
sense? Yeah. So
Yep.
that what we do know, the science of this, which is so fun in the last 10 years of neuroplasticity, neuroscience, what we know about the breath is that um, when the CO2 drops, oxygen levels increase perceived by the
Hmm.
body, that it downgrades the default mode. The default
The
mode.
default mode network that in the brain.
Yes, in the
Okay.
brain. That's
Yeah.
kind of like the analytical filter that's in the
Yeah.
in the conscious mind. And we know that if someone has a belief like I want to be successful, but they believe that they're a failure, it's coming, it's not hidden. It's gone. The default mode is rejecting, right?
Hmm.
So what we know is that when they're in this state of hyperoxygenation, this gets wobbly and it downgrades the default mode. And
Right.
now you're basically in the room with the subconscious mind. All these aspects, all your injuries, all your somatic stuff is just kind of more open. And that's when people just go where they need to go. Also, when you're doing this breath for almost an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
And we'll talk about the stages of that. When people get to that stage, they're also priming the spinal fluid to the pineal
Hmm.
gland. And at
Hmm.
about 40 minutes, this is when people are seeing visions, they're connected. Dead people show up in the room. Why is my dead grandma here? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you ask her? Like, I don't know the stuff that can show up. I had a guy who was a credible deep alcoholic, and he lost everything in his life, and he only
Hmm.
lived in a shed behind his grandma's house because it's the only place that people would let him stay. It was
Right.
that bad as a drunk. And he he came in and started doing breath work. Someone paid for him to do work with me.
Hmm.
In 20 minutes of breath, he's up there talking, up and out, talking to the council,
Right.
and they're telling him how he chose to come down here to experience this as down and out alcoholic so he can learn and he can. It was incredible. I'm
Yeah.
like taking notes to him like I'm his secretary, writing all this information that came into him. I didn't even believe in the council until I saw this guy go, and I saw the change in him. And do you think his life changed after that?
Yep.
100%. Stone cold sober.
So for anyone who doesn't know what the council is,
Yeah.
it's a spiritual concept where, well, like guides or even
Mhm.
higher than that.
Mhm.
Would you say that this alcoholic client of yours that he was spiritual beforehand? What kind of
No,
person was he
not at
before?
all. Not at all. This is why it was shocking to me when
Right.
he went into breath work and he started having this conversation. He was shocked. He was
I
like,
can
"What the hell is
imagine. Yeah.
this, Renee?" I go, "I don't know. Just go with it." And we had stopped doing breath work another 25 minutes. I had him keep breathing when he was done talking and then see if there's another layer. This is what I like to do. They hit
Hmm.
a layer, we process it, we release it, or they create their own awarenesses and clarity about it. And then I have them breathe again because we have the time. We have 60 minutes
Yeah.
to clear that next layer. And then that's when they get more clarity or something else comes up. So then they'll
Hmm.
start breathing again. It was incredible. He was a descended master. There's no doubt. They told him he was a descended master. And
Oh.
I started this work complete science. I knew the science of the mind. I only learned past life regression, natal regression, life between life work, so I could be well-rounded, so I can handle anything
Yeah.
that comes up because this is my personality. But after 13 and a half years sitting in this chair, it's all evidential for me. There's not very much that I have not seen
Hmm.
coming out of my clients. And it's powerful. So I tell people I live in both worlds, the metaphysical, the
Yeah.
spiritual, and the science. I'm not woo woo. I'm woo. I'm undercover woo, and I become more woo every day, right? Because I have the honor of doing this work.
Mhm.
I do other things with my clients, but there's not one client, and most people have sessions with me, packages. There's not one client, unless they physically can't, that I
Right,
don't do work with, for
right,
sure. 100%,
right. And
especially
who are your clients? You said you get a lot of men earlier. You
yeah.
said you get a lot of analytical people.
Yep. Yep.
Do they all change as much as this formerly alcoholic client of yours?
Well, that's a pretty profound change,
Yeah.
but yes, they have changes. They do.
Mhm.
I like breath work for analytical men because they're like, yeah, what you got?
Yeah.
And how do you want to feel? I don't know. I just don't want to feel this way. Oh, okay. I mean, that's all you got. They got no content. They're completely locked
Mm,
down. And I understand this because when I started this work, I was a closed heart. I was very lived on the outside. I didn't let people in really.
mm,
And it's completely changed me personally. Breath work has been my modality. So I can relate to that. And when they do an hour of breath work, they're crying, they're have an awareness about their life. It's just so beautiful. And or it's just really physical and they feel better physically.
yeah.
Sometimes just feeling better physically at the end is the first stage of building belief that things can be different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a great way just to put it. Yeah. So, um, are there any clients that don't have any change, or which type of clients would you not work with besides the ones that physically can't do it?
So I would not do it with someone who is not stable
Hmm.
mentally, right? I do work with a lot of, so I work on a lot of healthcare teams, psychiatrists, physicians, that sort of thing. So I do work with people with in my scope of practice with the referral for mental illness. I do
Hmm.
have a couple people with bipolar, but
Right.
sometimes if they're unstable, I'm not going to do a breathwork session with them. It's going to be a little lighter for them.
Hmm.
So it just depends. But someone who is not in reality, I would never ever, even someone who is fixed, who is not fixed, who is stable on, is psychotic, schizophrenic maybe, um, I would not do it because
Yeah.
they can't always feel the difference between real and imagined. And a
Hmm.
lot goes on in that state where it could really flip you. This is why some people
Yeah.
should not do plant medicine or something like this because they can't align to reality. So I would never do that. I don't do it very often with people who have no um spiritual connection to anything because I use it as a resource. Now, if they're
Hmm.
an atheist and logic is their strength, I'm going to
Yeah.
do it because it's
Oh,
just not logical to hold on. I will, because it's not logical for them to hold on to this stuff. So let's
right.
give them logic. All you're doing is breathing and breathing in. That's it. That's all you're doing. We don't have to think about anything. And boy, do they go off to the races. It's really fun. And they never think I can never go into hypnosis. I don't believe in any of this stuff. And then they're deep. They're not even breathing sometimes. Because if you've done breath work, you know when you get to this state of awareness and clarity and openness to all that is truly, um, people stop, they don't breathe.
Hmm.
When someone pauses their breathing, and I know the brain stem's going to get them to breathe, so I'm not afraid that people are not going to breathe.
Mm.
This is why I don't do it with people with cardiac issues or something, or
Yeah.
but when they go up and out and I see their eyes moving like they're in a
Mm.
REM sleep,
Yeah.
I know that they're getting deep clarity and awareness that they may not even be aware of. And I tell people sometimes our nervous system, our human brain, our conscious brain cannot manage what is happening
Hmm.
internally. So this is why I think people go and pause and they stop breathing because they're receiving stuff that we can't even conceive of. And that's
Right.
why 3 days later, they don't even know what changed, but they know that they feel better and life is different physically and emotionally. They're sleeping better, all these things.
Hmm. Wonderful. So do you, with those different types of clients, the ones who have logic as their God, the
Hmm.
atheists,
Yeah,
and well, if somebody is a Muslim or a Christian or whatever they are, or a Buddhist, do you change your approach depending on their, well, worldview that they have, their belief that they have?
100%.
Yeah.
Always. I think that that's our job is
Mm-hmm.
to align with their resources and who they are. I, I you know, I have some people who Jesus is their Lord and Savior. I don't have a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with Jesus. I happen to have a relationship with the God of my understanding, right? Which has
Mm-hmm.
changed over the years, right?
Yeah.
Um, but man, I'm like a preacher in here. Like Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Let's go. Like I'm preaching to them. I'm encouraging them. I'm like connect to your, whatever Jesus or whatever it is. And so we must. This is so important in this work in my training is to really help people understand the power of an
Mm-hmm.
intake and
Mm-hmm.
their resources, how life was, and then how they want life to be
Yeah.
because that's the power at the end to put it all back together for them because they just went through this journey. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have a clear understanding of their resource and how they want to be, because if
Mm-hmm.
someone doesn't believe in God and you use the God word, they're opening up and they're upset.
Yeah.
We really have to reach them where they are. I tell people I don't lead, I follow.
Mm-hmm.
So the intake is really important for a lot of reasons. To build rapport,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get their words, because what we do know is the subconscious will receive their words better than ours, their perception of the
Yeah.
world, right? So we have to paint that picture to them in their colors and not ours and at the same time they're lighting up the neurons. It's very hard to change an automated pathway to any issue or any
Mm-hmm.
habit or experience if it's dark, meaning it's not lit up.
Yeah.
So I know some of the trend in the hypno world, which is so interesting because I do for years gone to a lot of conferences and I love hearing from people. There's a whole new trend of no content, no conversation, just get in the chair and go.
Yeah.
Well, you're starting from a cold dark neuron pathway. They'll warm up, but
Mm-hmm.
man, is it much easier to get them lit up about the issue. And now
Yeah.
it's all lit up, and now neuroplasticity shows that we can pull that apart a lot easier, that they can
Mm-hmm.
create change, a new pathway if it's lit up. So I'm a
Yeah.
big fan. It doesn't have to be an hour-long intake, but we definitely have to get them connected to the issue in some way, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. By the way, guys, everybody who's listening live, if you have any questions anytime, just ask them because, we'll answer them. Or Renee will answer them. I won't. I'll ask them. Okay, so
I love
we
it. I love questions. Hmm.
the heading that we have for this session is protocols, safety, and practitioner tips. So,
Hmm.
what besides the contraindications, schizophrenia and psychosis, etc., what else do you have in terms of safety for us?
So safety is really knowing who and who doesn't, and we'll put it in the link later
Hmm.
into the replay. I have a workbook that people can grab,
Cool.
and that I when I speak on it for an hour or something, then I'll do it. It's not my training manual, but it's enough information to really get a clear idea of what this
Hmm.
is and isn't. But the importance of who should do this and who not. I would never do it with someone in cardiac history because
Yeah.
when the felt sense, that feeling, that energy in motion that everybody gets, right? How our body and our mind talk to us do the same. When people have that felt sense, often in breath work, it can be in the chest, a heaviness in the chest. So
Hmm.
I want to be able to know if someone's in kind of a panic that they're not having a heart attack. So I
Yeah.
just don't do it with my cardiac unless they had a stent put in like 20 years ago, then I'll do it. But
Yeah.
someone with blood pressure issues, I don't. I'm just careful about that. Someone with a retinal or eye issues, I don't, because we do know that the breath and the priming of the breath can increase ocular pressure. So
Right.
I try not to do that. That's very clear in the workbook. The safety thing really is and intake is important.
Yeah.
Education, especially in every hypno session, there has to be education. When we
Hmm.
know when someone feels like they understand what is going to happen, then
Yeah.
they feel safer. And when people feel safer, then they go deeper within, right?
Hmm.
So, but in breath work, it's particularly important, the education piece of this. They
Yeah.
have to know what's coming up because if they start this vibrating or this slight cramping, right? Or this high level emotion and they don't
Yeah.
know what that is, their
That it's
eyes are
normal.
open and
Yeah.
they're done, like they're done. So
Yeah.
it's really, so that I consider that a safety piece is the education part of it.
Hmm.
Also, at the end, make sure that people know they're going to be lightheaded. You
Hmm.
cannot breathe like this for 45 minutes to an hour and not have a
Yeah.
state of transition. Now they'll be normal. My clients are are normal to drive home, right?
Yeah.
Um, but if they have to go to the bathroom immediately, I hold on to them. Even the men, you see these big men. What I'm not doing is unzipping their pants. I tell them all the time. Like if you're coming to do breath work, wear pants that you don't have to unzip because I'm not doing it. I promise you that.
That's
And
why
most of
peeing
my
before the session is so important. Yeah.
exactly right. I'm a logical person. I don't. But I walk them to the bathroom, and by the time they come back, and it
Hmm.
might happen to be just across the hallway. I have a door over here that I'm pointing to, like you know what I'm pointing at. But by the time they come back, then they're
Hmm.
fine, and we um, this breath work really takes to have an intake, an education,
Yeah.
a processing, and then a post recovery. It's a good 2 hours, and I do
Hmm.
2 hour sessions. That's just how I work in my practice.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who does a 60-minute, then I would say it needs to be minimum of
Yeah.
an hour and a half and
Right.
a minimum hour and a half to do the work. And then they're fine to go. But you bring them
Mhm.
up slowly. But dizziness, and I tell people I congratulate myself because nobody's face planted in my office yet. And
Oh, geez.
sometimes
That
the
would
felt
be
in
hard.
the stomach, Astrid, so people get they could feel a little nauseous. But
Hmm.
I've done, gosh, I told my husband the other day, I like he in something I wrote, it was like thousands of thousands. He goes, thousands, and he kind of laughed at me. I go, I've done thousands. I want you to tell you this is I worked full time since the moment I start. And he
Right.
was shocked that I have seen so many clients in the last 13 years. I mean,
Oh, he
I think
didn't
it's
even realize.
close
Is he
to
not home over
over
there during the day
four
to have a...
thousand 4,000 something clients, yeah, that I've seen
Wow.
in the last in my practice. So, and I would say probably more than half of those have been breathwork sessions.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Um, to get back to the safety piece, you
Yeah.
are, of course, a registered
Yes.
nurse.
Yeah.
Um, can anyone do breath work with people, or is it dangerous maybe to do that if you don't have any medical education?
It isn't. I think because all they have to do is really stop breathing like this, and
Hmm.
they will normalize pretty fast, right?
Hmm.
One thing that I teach at the end is we do a breath hold. And what the breath hold does is and they can hold for a long time. I've learned
Yeah.
through the years, especially dudes, men, how long was that? Like they're so competitive. Some women too. So I've learned to time it when they start holding their breath because it can be 2 or 3 minutes that people hold
Wow.
because their level is high, CO2 is low. So
Yeah.
now when they have a breath hold, now they're normalizing. And I found through the years that I add that at the end because why? They just have an easier transition at the back end of this. And I
Hmm.
do hypnosis, a light induction in the beginning. That's how
Yeah.
I set the intention because I have found also through experience
Tension. Yeah.
is that when you set an intention, when the subconscious is more open in a light trance,
Hmm.
then they have a better focused neurology. It's like the supercomputer of the mind pulls up the correct files
Yeah.
versus having to skim through everything. So
Yeah.
that's, I said it in the beginning. It makes the first 10 minutes much easier because if anybody here's done breath work, the first 10 minutes sucks. It's terrible. I say breath work's better when it's over every time. And I've probably personally done breath work 60 times, right?
Right.
Every time the first I'm like, Renee, what are you doing to yourself? Why you've done so much, you really need to do this more. That all comes. So we know the
Hmm.
first 10 minutes of breath work, no matter what the facilitator's style is, there's going to be built-in physical and emotional resistance. So if the
Right.
client knows that, it's good. It's
Yeah.
fine to do that, right? But all they have to do is stop holding and they're gonna normalize. It doesn't take the body long to normalize. That's its
Hmm.
primary job is to normalize all of our, processes. They're fine. They're fine.
Right. Hmm.
But if
So
somebody
we are...
throws up, have a trash can. It only happened
Oh,
two or
God.
three times, and all of the time, no, I have did. One time, one guy he really he was going through a lot. He started purging like he was on plant medicine. I've done a lot of plant medicine, ayahuasca, that and for me about 15, 16 journeys.
Wow.
It's very
Mm.
powerful for me. Very, very healing. I have a lot of gratitude towards breathwork and plant medicine. But this guy was purging like he was on plant medicine. He threw up maybe 3 or 4 times. Poor
Wow.
guy. I felt
Wow.
bad,
Yeah. But he felt
bad.
good,
But
or did he feel crap?
no, he felt amazing.
There
It
you
took him
go.
a day. He was wiped out for a day, but the next day he was fine. The women who come see me know not to come in with mascara because,
Uh-oh.
I don't bother anybody. They have like black and snot and whatever, and I just let people breathe. I don't pay attention to it. Actually, I love it because that means I know they're in it, right?
Yeah.
If somebody's dabbing themselves with every tear, I know that they're not allowing themselves to go deeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
All right. Is everybody here ready for, and in the replay, ready for a sucky 10 minutes? Because I think we better get into the demo now. You
Let's
ready,
do it.
Renee?
There's no question. I am. So let me just do some pre talk. A lot of you have
Yeah.
done this. So I'm very comfortable with this. By the way, when I do breath work in a group, I only do 5 to 1 if I'm going to do more than 25 minutes. Why? Because if you have people going off, meaning having real emotional or memories, if you have more than a couple people and you're one person with a group of 20, I think it's quite irresponsible and dangerous. So
Right.
um, if 25 minutes is good, the first 10 minutes, there's resistance. They're like getting used to the pattern, all of that. At about 10 to 15 minutes, the vibration starts. Right. And when the vibration starts, it can be uncomfortable, people. So you have to let them know that's going to happen. I tell people all the
Mhm.
time, I do not have vibration in my chair. People think I do. I do not. It's not this kind of vibration. It's an internal feeling because the cells are being bathed with this extra oxygen and it is reacting to it and in a beautiful way.
Is
That
it more
vibration.
energy? Yeah. Is it?
Yes, that's vibration is what
Mm.
clears somatic stuck stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
like saying it's like a spatula under a stuck egg. It's pretty profound the way it happens. It really is. And energy leaves our feet, our toes, our mouth, and our top of our head. So when
Mm-hmm.
people know that they make it like like I have some people who it's all in their mouth. Now, if you're a chakra person, you know that that can relate to not finding your voice and not speaking your truth. If someone has a throat something going on, I'm expecting them to go I can't even talk. The mouth is so cramped up. It's pretty uncomfortable. Or their hands are like this. That's a control issue often, right? I don't generalize, but I have an
Mm-hmm.
awareness of it just from experience, really, seeing it. But when the emotional component flows, then so does the energy and all of that releases. So if somebody's in uncomfortable, or they're crying because their hands hurt, or they have some pressure on the top of the head, I don't intervene. Why? Especially my type of clients, the only way they're going to get an emotional breakthrough is by going through the pathway of discomfort and tears around physical discomfort. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way they feel comfortable letting out tears is from the physical. And it's so interesting how they jump right into the emotional. And they're like, this hurts, it hurts. And they start crying. And then all of a sudden they're wailing and they don't even know why they're wailing. Like they're just letting it go. And it's just like, yes. Awesome, right? I'm not saying anyone's going to do that today, but you will feel the vibration. You may feel it in your fingers, your mouth, top of your head, or your toes. I always have people do this with their, I said, in my brain, I heard their feet off, but we don't have people take their feet off. Have people take their shoes off because there's more flow and they feel more comfortable that way. And so we're going to do that today. I'm going to put people into a light hypnosis. I do very simple. I just do a quick, what's called the alpha sequence, learned it from John Overdurf. And he allows me to teach that in part of my process. And then at the end, I do a clearing. It's almost like a progressive with laying down a lot of suggestions. And I do that at the end because it gives them space. And I like to say, we've just moved all this energy. It's just like, sweeping up the corner so we can just give people an opportunity to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And um, and then I give space to see, sense, feel, hear without me saying anything because I think sometimes as hypnotist, hypnotherapist, whatever you call yourself, I think we don't give enough time for quiet,
Mm.
for processing. I think we want to feel like we got to be in there all the time. So if I say anything to my students is just hold space for them and shh, quiet. Yeah. Okay. Everybody ready?
All right.
Get comfy. Find a spot. You're not going to be disturbed there. All right. Good. You comfortable? Ashad, you ready?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes people get cold in this. So I know none of you have a blanket, but that you may experience that. Just go ahead and close your eyes for me. As you close your eyes, I want you just to relax your jaw. When you relax your jaw, you're quieting down your nervous system. Most people do clench their jaw and hold their breath when they're trying to suppress. So let's just allow your jaw to relax, give a new message to our vagal nerve, our nervous system. Soften your tongue. The tongue's directly connected to the language centers of your brain. So when you relax your tongue a little bit, you slow down this internal dialogue. And just breathe. I want you to consciously breathe, meaning just feel the rise and fall of your chest, maybe the air going through your nose or your mouth. Feel the chair or couch beneath you. And you, in that space, I want you to just breathe. And perhaps you're relaxing one body part at a time now or in just a moment. Now, imagine you could pop up into this space in your head. I call that the free zone, the safe darkness. Imagine in this space in your head, as you relax your jaw, softening your tongue, you could see all the way around you, above and below, even behind you. And in this space, expand, and the space beyond that. And in this space, no body, no thing, no past, no future. Now, thoughts come in, that's normal. It's okay. Just imagine these thoughts can just drop away into this abyss of nothingness as you expand and allow. Body relaxing with every breath. And in this space, we're going to set the intention for this breath work today to release anything that's blocking you that you may or may not be aware of. Give yourself permission, just let it go so you can move forward and create more of what you want and deserve in your life. Setting the intention to release anything that's blocking from you. And let's begin the breath work through your mouth and out through your mouth. Why through our mouth? Just more oxygen gets you to your place a little bit stronger. Good. Breathe from diaphragm to chest and out. Cyclical breath, no stop at the top or bottom. Good. And in the beginning, you may have a little maybe lightheadedness or yawning. This is all very normal. I'm going to pace you in just a minute as you practice your breath. Good. And let's begin breathing together. No stop at the top or bottom. It's faster and deeper than we're used to. There are no holds. It's just continual breath. Speed it up a little, Astrid. Good. Good. And breathe. Releasing anything that's keeping you stuck or blocked. Good. Keep breathing. If you're listening to this post, just breathe. Good. Don't do this while driving. You're safe. Trust what comes up. As it comes, it goes. Don't chase a thought. Don't try to create an experience. Just breathe and feel. Good. There's not a right or a wrong way to do this. Just keep the breath going. The breath is the medicine. Make sure you're getting a full breath, almost like a fountain, a full inhale and just a nice relaxed exhale. You don't have to force it out. This is not fire breath. This is not Kundalini. Nice healing, bathing every cell. If thoughts come in, just concentrate on your breath if they're about what you need to do or after this session. Good. Just breathe. Slow down a little, Katrina. Yeah. Give your time for your lungs to exchange this beautiful oxygen. Good. And breathe. Good. Releasing anything that's blocking. Thoughts come, they go. If your brain begins processing, that's beautiful. Just keep the breath moving. We move energy with energy. Good. Yawning is normal, releasing energy. Let it go. Let it go. Trust what comes up. Just stick with it. If there's resistance, that's okay too. And breathe. The breath doesn't work, does the work. You don't have to. Just breathe and allow. You may feel the vibration starting. This is normal. Let it do the work. As you go deeper, allow my voice to go with you. As it comes, it goes. If your mind gets busy, concentrate on the breath. Good, Astrid. Breathe through that. Breathe and feel. Safe to let it go. Almost there. We'll do a few more minutes. If your mind's distracted, just concentrate on your breath. Getting some clarity. Good. Another minute. Breathe. Good. Go ahead, take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you can. In this quick test and trial of this, breathe, hold, hold, hold. As long as you can. Be curious about it. Good. If you return to your breath, just breathe normally. As you're breathing normally, just allow my voice to follow you deeper and deeper. Imagine that you're somewhere, safe place, perhaps with a beautiful sun or fresh air. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. And in this space, imagine this beautiful energy, this healing energy soaking into your eyes, behind your eyes, and deep into your mind, quieting your mind. Go to those areas of your mind that may hold blocks or confusions, maybe a part of your mind where you forget who you are in this world. Let it clear so you can remember that you are important and valuable. Let this energy move down the back of your neck, your throat, sinuses, clear so you continue to speak your truth. Find your words when working with clients, trusting your journey as this energy moves down our shoulders, arms, elbows, hands, and fingertips, imagining opening up your fingertips like a faucet and let this beautiful energy move through and out your fingers, right there in this space you find yourself in, letting go of any patterns, beliefs, behaviors, anything that's no longer serving you physically, emotionally, spiritually. Safe to let it go. Letting go of any blocks that you may or may not be aware of as they flow freely through. Let that continue as you listen to my words, as this energy move into your heart and chest with every breath, clearing and opening. spiraling, releasing. So each day you can show up in the world with confidence and high self-esteem, trusting your path, your journey, your skill set. Trust the why of this work is called to you. Imagine this energy moving down now your spine, your upper, middle, and lower back, every muscle, nerve, and fiber, relaxing, releasing, and letting go. Truly, as this beautiful oxygen is bathed every cell. So you can remember who you are. With every inhale and exhale to all your organs, bringing you optimal health and wellness, physically, emotionally, hips. We tend as human beings to have a lot of fear, worry in our lower abdomen. Clear and release. Let that flow down your hips, legs, knees, behind your knees. Shins, calves, feet, and toes. Imagining open up your toes in this river of beautiful healing energy through your mind, out your fingers, through your whole body, and out your toes, letting go, clearing and releasing. If there's something you want to let go, I'm going to encourage you to just imagine throwing it into this river now, almost as like it sails away like a paper boat. Just let it go. And as the energy is transformed back into your fingers, back into your toes, let it settle right into your heart, wherever you need it in your physical body, remembering each day that you are worthy and deserving of a life where you find your purpose, where you connect to your truth of who you are. There's so much evidence in your life that you are good and good enough as you are important. Now imagine yourself from this space moving forward in your life every day, remembering who you are, whether you're with clients, family, friends, or you look in the mirror and see someone that you love, that you want to take care of. Equal to all others. So I'm silent for a moment. See and sense. Dimana, it's okay. It's okay. Good. In just a moment, every word takes you deeper here. And in this space, I'm going to count from 1 to 5 to bring you back. When you open your eyes, you will know something is changing. Feel so connected to your truth. 1, coming back, more and more the sound of my voice. 2, clear-headed about your ability to move forward, to create change, to help your clients create what you want in this lifetime. 3, rested and refreshed from this entire session. You can remember this. 4, beautiful energy moving through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Eyes open back here. Regular waking consciousness. Welcome back.
Ooh.
Good time. Let's start with you first, Astrid.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a moment. I
Okay, so
know you're the one with the
yeah,
mic, baby. So that's where we're going.
I'm the one with the
Thank
mic.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is amazing, isn't it? Yeah, that vibration, I guess that's the oxygen giving energy to the cells, like literally,
Yes.
physically, not
Literally.
just in a spiritual sense. And yeah, the hands just start tingling, and the belly as well, and the feet, everything just starts tingling and going. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I just had a problem. I don't like breathing through my mouth. It just dried out all the time. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I don't want
Yeah.
that.
I only do that. That adjusted. Actually, I saw it adjust for you after a little while. It will. I do make sure everybody has a glass of water.
Ah,
And by the way, don't let them hold on to this, because someone who's crampy, just a little pro tip, someone who's cramping or really out of it, I mean, what are they going to do? Like there? So I just grab a little paper, cup, or I have them get a smaller cup by their bedside if they're at home, because it's just
right.
much easier to manage. And
Ah,
sometimes I have to feed water to people when they're here, like sip them, give them a sip,
so
because they're
while they're
just,
breathing, wow.
or like, yeah, yeah, if they have it.
Oh,
But the reason we do through the breath is this. It's just a bigger bang for your buck. It's a bigger pie
mhm.
hole. And
Yeah.
you just get, but after a while, it adjusts. And then I let people after about 20 minutes find their own. Sometimes people breathe through their mouth, and afterwards, sometimes
Hmm.
they'll uh do a little bit of a different pattern. After that, about 20, 30 minutes, I'm trusting that the subconscious mind and their connection to what their truth is going to be, I kind of let them have a little bit more leeway. But I
Yeah.
know in the beginning, we have to move energy with energy. And the way to do that is keep this consistent cyclical breath. Yeah. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? I know we
Yeah.
saw a couple
It is
comments here.
hard to breathe like that, though.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to read the whatever people said. If you would like
Yeah.
to speak, you're welcome to. If
Yeah.
you want to unmute yourselves and talk, but be aware you're going to be on YouTube. Otherwise, if you would like to share your experience in the chat, that's great as well.
Mhm.
So thank you. I felt okay, Elena. Just a moment. Thank you. I felt vibrating in my lips and at the end of my nose. Does
Yes.
that have any specific
It
meaning?
depends. No,
No.
I know the chakras and I do a lot of that work, right? But I think that it's a mistake for us to like say, oh, that person has got this issue or that person that got that issue. I think
Hmm.
it's more complex than that. So it can be that. That's just how the pathway to the energy releasing.
Hmm.
Every time I do it, my nose goes numb. I get this tingling in the nose in my nose. It's just like I get frozen. It's like I'm in
Oh,
the Arctic. And that happens every single time. I can count on it. So I always bring two blankets.
oh wow.
Also, when someone's going to do breath work, they always have to pee, they have water, and they have a blanket. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. You said she's so
Okay.
cold. Uh-huh.
I wondered if it was okay to swallow as my mouth dried up lots. I did it for
Yes.
comfort and plenty of yawning. Oh yeah, I had yawning too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. For sure.
And
Cold and they'll
that
be
was
fine. And some people get so hot. It's funny as I walk my clients down the hallway, sometimes these men are so sweaty that they've sweat through their jeans and the back of their shirt. So they just have this big wet spot all the way down their body.
Oh
So my
really? Some people get hot, some
yeah,
people get cold.
so
Wow.
so sweat like crazy. No, they just lose it. Some people get frozen,
Wow.
some people get hot and cold. And I this is why I have a leather chair. I don't if you have a cloth chair, if you're doing
Ooh,
in-house, then put a blanket or a sheet down because people can sweat through it.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a good practical tip.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great. Thank you. It always amazes me how deep you can go in 10 minutes. Yep. Well, I
That
didn't
was
dare to
10
go so
worth
deep
10
because
worth of breath.
I have a session to host, so
Okay. Oh yeah,
I
we're
didn't.
we're tightened up. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
We're
no,
are
no,
we,
no, 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 no. That's fine. I mean, I have a session to host here right now. That's
oh,
that's
okay,
all.
got
So
you.
I'm not going to go out
Okay.
and knock myself out cold.
Okay.
Speaking of cold, somebody says I'm so cold now. So get a
Hmm.
blanket. Get a
Yeah.
blanket. And
It'll
I felt
normalize in a few minutes.
yeah,
Hmm.
I felt the resistance come up, but kept pushing through. Felt the vibrations and cold, but now refreshed. Um,
When
next
people
one.
breathe, when you encourage people to breathe through it, now they're building belief in themselves. It's almost like this is a block that
Mhm.
stops them from creating some stuff in their life. And when
Right,
this is hard, it's intense. When they get through it, it really builds belief. It's incredible how it helps people understand that
right.
they're capable they are. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Very immersive experience. Thank you. Felt nauseous, then heaviness, then connections emerging.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that going into the spiritual
100%. It's a
experience already?
clearing,
Okay.
and then it's another layer of the clarity people get. At the end, I always make room for clarity. We didn't really have we did breathing
Yeah.
for 10 full minutes, but imagine doing that
Yeah.
for 60. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I
it's
can imagine that
amazing.
was very
Mhm.
intense. Yeah. Thank you. That was great. I felt the tetany in my hands
Yeah.
and felt
Tetany
pressure on
is
my
cramping.
throat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
Yeah.
What I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm off to my Qigong practice after this, so I'll be amazing tonight.
Oh, you will. Go, girl.
Okay.
That's going to
Wonderful.
be incredible.
All right.
I'm in my 60s, so I the last thing I wanted to do, Astrid, was really work harder. I've been working full time. I've been very blessed in my practice. I book out months out actually,
Hmm.
um, and I wanted to do this because I think it's so important. It's such a healing protocol that I wanted people, the hypno world, to really do it. So this is why I created this, and now I'm doing training. I keep it
Yeah.
very low price. Why? Because I really feel the importance of it, and I know
Hmm.
Fabian too, right? That we need to hand this to other therapists and hypnotherapists and NLP because it's amazing. And
Anything
anybody can
that heals. Yeah.
facilitate it if you show up authentically with some skill sets and confidence. It's incredible for your
Yeah.
clients. I'm honored every time I can hold space for somebody in this work.
Yeah. So let's talk about your course, Eleanor. You'll be on in a second, but since you've already mentioned it, you're going to do a course in January. You said you didn't want to
Yeah.
really mention it, but you're going to now. I mean, you didn't want you're not doing this for the course. You're not
I
on
am
here
not
to
doing this
just
for my
promote
course is
yourself.
only
And it's
395.
yeah,
So in the big picture,
yeah.
it's not like, a huge amount of money for me even, but it's more about my calling to teach it to other people. I'm a natural teacher by in life. So I'm happy to do it. So if we can talk, my course is on January 10th. It's Saturday,
Hmm.
January 10th. And it's all day. It's from 10 a.m. Eastern time to
Hmm.
5 p.m. I know that won't work. Everything is recorded. And then I have monthly get-togethers for breathwork practitioners who have taken my training on Zoom
Oh.
because I really want people to understand it. And when you start facilitating it now you have more questions. Now, what do I
Hmm.
do about this? We cover a lot of that. It's about a 7 hour training. And
Hmm.
then because it doesn't help to do 5 months of this training and not facilitate. So you have to facilitate. And then the ongoing monthly thing really is part of the training as well. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Eleanor, did you want to speak or did you want me to read out? You're welcome to do either. Whichever one you want to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've done this with people who are difficult to get into trance. I'll do about 15-20 minutes of this, and then I'll start doing a part session with them, right? Because it's the only way I can quiet down their nervous system, right? The breath, and I start, even if I'm not doing breath work, I will start with breath in the beginning because a block that people have is just their nervous system that's not going to let them get through. So breath is really important, but you can use this as an induction, yeah. But I'm like a simple, straightforward kind of girl. So that's how I teach, and that's the protocol that I'm attracted to. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
So I wrote down a question earlier, I believe. How many sessions do clients need?
It depends. Breathwork is my best referral source. This is why I keep booked out for so far because
Yeah.
they have this experience. They're like, holy moly, what is that? I'm going to tell my this friend and this friend this. This is why I see so many men. I think because they're
Ah.
happy to share something that makes sense to them. But I have clients that come in once a month, once every 6 weeks to just do breath work. That's
Oh,
it. Because
right.
they're high level business people, men and women, and they find that they do better in their life and the success at work and balance if they do a breathwork session regularly. So it's a great referral source. So it just depends on the person. My
Yeah.
clients generally see me 3 to 5 sessions, right? And I don't
Mhm.
see them every week. I see them every 2 or 3 weeks because it's so intense, the processing, whether I'm doing breath work or that I it just depends. It just depends. But
Yeah.
most of my clients I see regularly just because they want to. It's like their mental massage.
Ah, yeah. Well, I know some people who come to hypnotherapists just
Yes.
like a massage, like a haircut. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
you're not
yeah.
going to spend much more money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you post info on the training in the group, please? Yes, of course.
Yes.
We can
Yes,
do
for
that.
sure.
It's
Like I
going to
said,
be
I
in the
keep it
show
cheap.
notes.
It's 395 because why?
Yeah.
I mean, I just want people to do this. I want people to grab it and learn and grow and help the world because the world needs this kind of really healing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here. And it's been so much fun talking to everybody from around the world. My goodness. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. That's a good closing statement. Does
Let me
anybody
put
have
the
any more
link to let
questions?
me put the link to my training in the chat
All
if
right, cool.
you want it. And then it's going to
£296
be
for
for those who
UK
are
people.
here.
Oh, that's really cheap. That's
Yeah.
£296. That's under £300.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
That's
Go ahead, put it into the chat if people want to book
yeah,
on
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Let me grab it. Let me grab
I
it.
mean, we
Uh-huh.
don't do it for you to book on, obviously. I hope you've all learned something. Um, and yeah, this is all going to go into the show notes as well. And if you
Yeah,
have any
yeah.
questions later on, I'm sure Renee will answer them. You've joined the group today, I think. as well?
I did.
So,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
yeah,
If you guys have a question, you can just tag me, Renee
yeah.
Brent, and I'm happy to answer it. My information is there if you want to contact me. It's really easy. It's Renee, Rene Brent, Hypnosis at iCloud.com. Easy breezy. And there is the link to my course sign up that
Oh,
I'm having
cool.
in January. And I record all of those, and you guys get that in a manual. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you were talking about a workbook or something that people can download or that people can get from you, like a little cheat sheet kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Did you?
email me.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't have any,
Let's.
and I know you got to go. So let me give you my email. And if you guys send me an email, I will send you I will get you signed up in that automation and get you I will get you the workbook
All
ASAP.
right, cool.
Okay?
Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
We have one more question. How much do you cover on the training? Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but I don't know much of breath work. So this was one protocol, one way of doing it. Do you have various ones or just
So I
this one?
teach, so part of my protocol is I teach aftercare stuff with breath
Mhm.
and with stuff for quiet the nervous system, that sort of thing. I am very technique driven for my clients, so I teach a lot of take-home techniques. But I have to tell you, once people learn your 7 hours with me, then you start doing it, then you come to the or you ask me a question. Once somebody's a student of mine, like you're in my world. So I'm happy to answer. I do have mentoring that I do as well for small amount of money because I just love this work and I just want to share it with people. So if you want the little workbook to get started and take a look at it, just email me at Renee Brent Hypnosis at iCloud.com and give me your email and your name and first and last name, and I'll send it out to you.
All right. We can also do it. You can also put a form into the group, into the
Yeah.
show notes as well.
Yes, I
If
will.
people
In the
didn't
show
get
notes,
that
it
one.
will be.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't have it. I don't want to take the time to grab it, but
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the sign up, and then you will definitely get the workbook. I love that
Cool.
one.
Now, if you just send it to me, I'll be posting the
Okay,
replay tomorrow at some point. And yeah, and then
I'll send that
we'll
to you.
get everything in there. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sure, you're great. I know we just met not too long ago, but I have to tell you, you're a real inspiration in the hypno world because you're out
Oh,
there and you're not just saying it, but you're doing this. You have this forum for people. I think it's fantastic. Yeah,
thank you.
wonderful.
I need to
Oh,
go.
look at her. All right, Ashley's got to learn to take a compliment, everyone, I think.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
you're
you.
great. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys, and thanks, Renee, for coming on. And the next session that we're going to have is Carmen, and I don't know how to pronounce her last
It's
name.
Ruchi.
Sosic, and
Is it
she's
Ruchi?
going to be
Isn't it Gucci? Ruchi? I don't.
no,
Okay.
that's a bit of a
Sorry.
problem, isn't it?
I'm so
But
sorry.
Carmen's going to be talking about. Just wait a
Mhm.
second,
Yeah.
just a second. I've put her into my folder about metacognition, neuroscience and neurolanguage for identity level architecture. So that's more a word-driven kind of session. This one was very, very physical, very somatic. So
Mhm.
I like to cover all of those things and hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment, leave a like. If you're watching it anywhere else, leave a comment as well, or just send me a message. I'd love to hear from you and have a very, very good day, night, or morning, whichever one it is. Okay.
Wherever you
Thank you
are
so
in the
much for
world.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you
now.
all. Bye bye.